Stay where you are. We are going to talk about the Nokta Makro Simplex, and we're going to find out the real truth about this metal detector, starting right now. Hey guys, Scott here for the Mental Metal channel and mentalmetaldetecting.com. If you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by, and please hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, please hit that like button as well. Today we're going to talk about the Nokta Makro Simplex, and we're going to try to figure out the real truth behind it. There's been a lot of rave reviews about it. There's been some people skeptical about it. I have a personal need for a new water detecting machine, and the Simplex kind of like fit the bill, but I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with my AT Pro. If you guys haven't followed my channel, my AT Pro has slowly been failing me, and it hasn't failed yet, but it's about to. It's over 8 years old, and it's just breaking down. So I sent it back to Garrett. We're going to see if it gets fixed. In the meantime, I have to give credit where credit is due. Keith Leppert from Fort Bedford Metal Detectors knew my situation and called and asked me if I wanted to check out one of these Simplex machines. And I said, absolutely. So I have this machine. I'm giving it a trial. I'm giving it a go and seeing if I like it or not. And I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions here on my channel about this machine with you guys. So I also wrote an article. It's on the website. We're going to go through it today. We're just going to go down through it. So if you don't want to see me babble about it, you can just check out the article over on my website, mentalmetaldetecting.com. All right, so let's get right into it. So for starters, like I said, my AT Pro has been kind of breaking down, and I wanted to know, what other options are out there. The Nokta Makro Simplex is a machine that is very, very, very similar, but better, in my opinion, than the AT Pro. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Garrett on any of their machines. I've loved that machine. I've had it for, like I said, over 8 years. There's no dig against that machine. They have the new Apex coming out, and I think there's great things to come from Garrett here in the next year or so. With I'm expecting their AT series to get upgraded to a waterproof multi-frequency machine. I don't have any proof for that, but I suspect that's coming because I think a lot of the Apex users or Apex fans were disappointed when they found out that it was not waterproof. So, but that's another video. Let's talk about the Simplex. Is it a legit metal detector? Short answer, heck yes. This machine is very legit. For an entry-level machine, it is 100% waterproof. Comes packed with so many features that most entry-level machines lack. This machine is considered an entry-level machine because it's so simple to use, and the price point of it is ridiculous. For under $300, you can get a fully waterproof machine, wireless capable, with all the same features you can get with an AT Pro plus some. And we'll go over some of those. So is it a legit metal detector? Absolutely, it is a legit metal detector. Surprisingly, it is amazing for what you pay for it. Is it simple to operate? Well, I can tell you that I spent about 10 minutes in the menu system and I figured it out. It is not hard to use, folks. Anybody that's new to metal detecting could probably figure it out in about 30 minutes and get up and running. It is so simple to use, it's crazy. Some of the standard features you get with the Simplex, obviously you get notch filtering, a pinpoint capability, frequency shifting for anything that may interfere with your machine, maybe another metal detector is interfering, or you get some EMI. You get 6 levels of adjustments for sensitivity adjustments, and you get a target ID of 0 through 99. How many search modes does the Simplex have? It has 5. It has a field search mode, a Park 1, a Park 2, beach, and an all metal mode, which is pretty neat. How many settings does the Simplex offer? Well, there's a settings bar, and I'll try to show you an image of it here. In that settings bar, you get volume control, ground balance, iron bias, frequency shift, notch setting, wireless, vibrate feature, brightness, and flashlight. So a couple more features you get than you don't typically get with any of these other entry-level machines, especially the vibrate feature for the hearing impaired, and you get a cool flashlight that gives you a little extra light when it gets dark or maybe you're underwater. Is it waterproof? Yes, absolutely. It's 100% waterproof down to about 10 feet. How do the targets register on the Simplex VDI? Now, I did some testing, and I'm going to be very upfront with you. And in my article, I post this. I did not do any buried tests. I don't have a test guard and bury stuff to test. I just wanted to get a general idea of the VDI numbers for a surface test, just to get an idea. I was trying to learn a machine, and that was a quick way to do it. So I went through and I did a lot of targets you typically find here in the Mid-Atlantic region: Civil War items, silver quarters, silver coins, buttons, Indian head pennies, gold ring, silver ring. And so in the article you can see, I'm scrolling through what those numbers kind of showed up as. And I'm surprised if you look at the range. I put in a pull tab, the newer style pull tabs and the old style pull tabs, the one where you actually pull the whole way off. The range that they're giving you for the junk does not overlap with any of the good stuff. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if it was made to do that, but I mean, you could technically not dig junk on this machine. Now, I'm sure you're gonna dig junk, but if you're looking for the good stuff's in different VDI ranges than the junk. So I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting to me. Maybe my testing is off. I don't know. There's plenty of tests out there you can go look at. Are there any other search coils you can buy for the Simplex? And currently, there's 3 you can buy for it. You can buy an 8.5-inch DD coil. You can buy a 9.5-inch by 5-inch DD coil, which is something, if you're a water hunter, that's probably one of the coils you're probably going to want to have. And you can purchase, but it comes standard with the machine, it's their 11-inch DD coil itself. So 3 coils to choose from. Like I said, the 9.5 by 5 is probably where I'm going to end up going if I do purchase this machine, because the water hunting, you want a little bit smaller coil to move through the water a little bit easier and get between those rocks. One of the coolest features about this machine for the price, the entry point of this machine, is the firmware. You can update it, which is crazy. This is something that was only available in those high-end machines, but now for an entry-level machine, you can update the software, and they already have updated it. I think there's at least 2 updates for it, and Nokta is listening to their customers. They're actually listening to the issues that folks are having, and they're trying to correct it. They're going in and making some fixes and updating things. So I heard one of the fixes they made was if you turn on any like a Garrett pinpoint or something, the machine would go absolutely bonkers. Well, they put a patch in. You can hit the pinpoint button when you turn on your pinpointer, and it mutes the interference, so you don't hear it, which is pretty cool. I mean, they fixed that because there was an issue. People were complaining. So they are listening to their customers. If you have problems, with this machine, it's highly recommended you go out and tell them. I put a link to more information on the patches in the article, so if you want to check that out, just go to the article and click that link. Now, for you folks who have hearing impairments, they added a vibrate feature to the handle. So if you're underwater, this is great for underwater users as well. But if you're hearing impaired and you're going across something and you get a good signal, the handle's going to vibrate. It's going to force you to look down. So that's a pretty cool feature. That's very forward thinking, in my opinion, on where they're thinking ahead. So good on Nokta for that. That's a pretty cool feature. I have heard that the vibrate could be placed a little bit differently on the machine. So maybe in the future they'll change that a little bit. But for now, hey, it works. So one of the other things I wanted to know about the Simplex is how well is it built? Is it cheesy? Is it kind of like a kid's toy? A lot of the newer machines, entry-level machines, are just kind of reminds you of like kids' toys. Not built very well, just a piece of plastic. I can tell you it's not the case for the Simplex. It is built very, very well. I'm very surprised at the craftsmanship of this machine. It just feels good in your hand. It's solid, the shaft, everything. It feels good. It has a little bit of I would say a wobble towards if you extend it out too far, but I mean that's typical for any of these telescopic shafts. But all in all, it is built very, very well, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Does the Simplex come standard with wireless headphones? Well, actually, no, it doesn't. If you buy the Simplex, the version of it that's under $300, for a few more bucks, you can get the wireless packaging. It will come with wireless headphones. And again, if you want more information on that package and what it comes with and so forth, I highly recommend you reach out to Keith Leverett from Fort Bedford Detectors. You can contact him through his website, Facebook. I'll even put his number in the video here in case you have any questions. You want to know more about the simplex that I'm providing. He's the perfect guy to call about one of these machines. So let's get to some of the things that is lacking in the simplex. To be honest, I had a hard time trying to figure out some things to kind of share that I felt like were kind of like downers on the machine. It was hard to find some stuff that was, I would say, negative. I mean, there's nothing that I found that's a showstopper, honestly. I mentioned earlier, I think, in the video, or at least in the article, that the coil feels a little heavy. It seems a little, top heavy in the coil. But, I mean, that's typical these days. I think the Equinox is the same way. Simplex is the same way. So, with these, bigger coils and so forth, yeah, they're going to be top heavy a bit, but it's not a showstopper. To me, one of the only issues I have, which isn't really an issue, is the buttons seem a little bit hard to push to me. Now, believe me, you push the buttons and they work, but it just seemed like they're real stiff, which I think probably is a good thing, but to some it may be a kind of a nuisance or an annoyance to have to push the buttons, really push them. Maybe they loosen up over time after you use a machine. I don't know, but to me, again, they just seemed a little stiff. But I'm not complaining about that. The one thing I will say though, the separation speeds are not the greatest from the targets. So I did some testing and I laid some targets down on a board, just went across them. Listen, you're going to get the same separation speeds you got when you had the AT Pro and probably the AT Max and some other machines out there. I mean, that's all I have to go on. You're not going to get separation speeds like the Equinox or the XP Deus or the Amphibio Multi. I mean, it's just, you're not going to get it for an entry level machine. The separation speeds are going to be what they are. I wouldn't consider it a negative because of what you're paying for the machine, honestly, but it is. Some people are going to say, well, that's an issue. Well, I don't think it's going to be an issue. If you're going to take this thing into a junky park, maybe you might not hear some of those targets that are popping through the rusty nails and so forth. But for the most part, this machine is going to do everything an AT Pro did for you and then some. So I wouldn't sweat the separation too much. But some people will, and I'm just throwing it out there just to let you know that I noticed it. The separation speed is not the greatest amongst the targets, but take it or leave it. What makes the Simplex different from other entry-level machines? Well, to me, it's the cost. I mean, for the price under $300, you get a fully capable metal detector that's 100% waterproof, packed full of features that most mid to high-end detectors have. This machine is very rugged, and you got built-in wireless capability that fits nicely in a backpack if you need to collapse it. It's a great machine for the price. I keep harping on that, but I mean, it really is. And if you don't believe me and you don't want to take my word for it, I did a poll on my Facebook group, and I did ask the question for the people who own a Simplex why they like it, and it came down to a couple things. It's inexpensive, the price again. People say it gets great depth. I have had people say it doesn't get great depth. And then there's others that say, it's packed full of features. People say they like the customer service. Water hunters enjoy the vibrating handle part of it. And on the other hand, there are some folks that didn't like it and said that the pinpointer gets in the way, it interferes with the detector. Well, they put a patch out for that, so that's fixed, or that issue has been resolved. And as far as depth, I don't know about the depth. I was doing surface tests and air tests, and it seemed like it was getting plenty of depth to me, and all the search modes that I was using. Look, folks, if you are looking for a new machine, an entry-level machine that's packed full of features, that's fully capable, the Simplex is a great machine to start with. Honestly, it takes literally 30 minutes to learn how to use it. You can be up and running in no time. There's tons of videos out there and how-to videos to get you up and running. I'm telling you right now, if you want to get one of these machines, I would highly recommend calling Keith at Fort Bedford Metal Detectors. Let him talk you through it. He may talk you out of getting one based on maybe there's something else out there that's better for you. But honestly, for me, I'm looking for a machine to replace my AT Pro, And if I had a choice today, I would pick this machine. Now, I am still waiting for Garrett to come back and give me a price on fixing mine. If it ends up being more than what I hope it is, I will probably end up just getting this machine because I think it's that good as a replacement. Alright guys, that's it for me. I think I'm done babbling about this Simplex. I'm a big fan of it. Hopefully you got something out of this video and the article itself. Again, if you haven't checked out the article, there's a lot of stuff in there that I probably blew over in the video here, so check it out at mentalmetaldetecting.com. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya in another Mental Metal video.